just to clarify, that number is $7,755.
That's what I got twice, but someone else could correct me.
That's been confirmed by Mrs. Rabai as well. So it's 7,755. We're all on the same page now. Ms. Fisher.
The central administration
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Is there any other discussion on that motion? Seeing none, I'm going to call that motion to a vote to reduce the 3 coaching positions for $7,755. All in favor? And those opposed. And the motion does carry. Ms. Arndt is opposed. Ms. Fisher.
The central administration and reorganization savings, since we've already approved that reorganization, I move that we reduce our budget by $27,085.
Okay, central administration reorg, $27,085. Mrs. Bush?
Second.
There's a second. So I got a motion, Mrs. Fisher, and a second, Mrs. Bush. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'm going to call that vote by a show of hands. All in favor? That's unanimous. Mrs. Bush.
Before I make the motion, I just want to confirm that the Novanet will still have the license. It will not affect what we were able to do with our students at the time. Okay, I move to cut the Novanet 56900 by $10,000.
Do I have a second on that motion? Mr. Nicholson. The motion is second to discussion. Mrs. Arndt.
What effect will it have?
It won't.
No effect at all?
It won't. To work. We were, excuse me, more recently, and that's probably the end of March, able to work with the company, and we're adding different features, and we were able to reduce it. So that will not have that bill next year. Not that amount. We're still billing that amount.
That was new information?
That was very new. Yes.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second to reduce the Novanet by $10,000. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's unanimous.
Could I just ask the total so far? I haven't kept a running total.
Mr. Carl, do you have those numbers?
Sure, through the chair, unless I missed something when I stepped out for a moment, I'm recording $276,749. 69, 125, 17,909, 2749, 2759, 2247, 20,000, 27,000, and change, and 10,000.
I think those are the numbers. Just, yes, sir.
Math and science instructional supplies for $12,000. That sounds like an awful lot of money. What impact will that have?
Mr. Osmond had offered that. I think that was on the heels of not upgrading the science kits, just using what we have, and not and eliminating the new mathematics textbooks, which are part of the textbook adoption in grades 6 and 7.
Oh, okay.
7 and 8, not 6 and 7. 6 is done.
So we're in totals on the side.
Your total's different.
What did you have for? I had a different total as well.
This one. Which one?
I have.
Yes, I think
Tuition in non-public schools was $125.
Yep.
Yeah.
Special ed Skinner Road was $69.
Yep.
Yep.
Center Road was $69. RHS Social Studies was $69. Central Supply was $20. Extended day transportation was $25. Track, dance, cheerleading was $7,755.
Yep.
Central reorg was $27,085.
Yep.
And Novanet was $10.
Yeah, this one.
So we got
What's your number?
I have 4.
I have 421, 840.
Erased it.
421,840 is the number that we have right at this point. Ms. Fisher.
Well, now that we're feeling good about making some cuts, I think we need to make the motion to add a teacher to Maple Street School for grade 2. All right.
Thank you. So that's the motion to add the teacher, 2nd grade, Maple Street School. And is there a second? Ms. Bush? Okay, and Ms. Orange?
Can you just run the numbers, Dr. Conway, please?
Currently at Maple Street School, we have 3 first grade classrooms for a total of 50 students. So their numbers are 17, 17, and 16. We only have 2 classrooms in grades 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we expect to keep the second grade classrooms, they would go up to 25 if we left it at 2 classrooms, if we didn't add the 3rd teacher in second grade. The other information is right now we actually have 4 kindergarten classrooms, but their numbers are 14 and 15, and so they will go to the 3 first grade classrooms, and they'll have numbers of higher than what they were, so 19 and 20, those students. There'll be 60 kids divided, so 20 in each of those classes. So there was no place to eliminate coming into first grade. It's better to show you than
And so the first graders going to second grade would be 2 classes of 25.
Correct.
This additional teacher would make it
3 classes of 17.
25% less. That's not good.
Other discussion?
I just will throw it out there.
25, I think, 25 I think is a little too high for a second grade class when you're really trying to build them up, get their reading skills honed in. I would not support, or I would support adding that teacher.
Other discussion? Mrs. Orange?
How does that number 25 compare across the district?
In grade 2, let's see. Next year's grade 1 at Center Road School will all have approximately 20 or 21. There's 3 of 20.
Next year's grade 1?
Grade 2. This
Okay.
is current grade 1, I'm sorry.
Okay.
At Lake Street School, you're going to keep 3 in there, right? They're moving up, right? We have 3 first grades, we're moving up, so each of them will be 16. There's 48 students, so rather than having 2 classes of 24 in first grade, there'll be 2 there.
Okay, I heard enough. Okay.
Other, Mr. Kim?
I can't support the idea that we're going to have, what was the number, 24 in the first or second grade? 25. I mean, our guidelines have been 18, 20, and 22 in the higher of the elementary grades. And I just can't pass the moment up. You were just talking about 16 and some of the other grades. And the public should understand one of the reasons we were strongly considering changing the configuration of grades was to more evenly level the numbers throughout the 5 elementary schools. And now we have this problem again of 25 and 16, and yet the average, isn't either one of those numbers, of course. And some of that could have been solved had we grade reconfigured, and still could, and still get teaming. But the town was so against it, we were reluctant to go that route. But this is what we find ourselves in, the pickle. Whenever there's a bubble in a particular school, in a particular grade, we're having to react to it not necessarily the best way. And yet, you got 16 in the other grade. How fair is that?
To Mr. Kemp. We're elected officials. The town spoke. They didn't want reconfiguration.
I'm sorry, the town what?
The town spoke. They didn't want reconfiguration.
Well,
Is there any other discussion on the motion for the 69,000 adding back for second grade? Seeing none, I'm going to bring that motion to a vote by show of hands. All in favor? And those opposed? I show 1 opposed. The motion does carry 5-1 to add back 69,000, which brings our total down to 352,840. The second was Mrs. Bush. Motion Mrs. Fisher and the second was Mrs. Ms. Sarn.
The alternative learning teacher at Rockville High School, during our board discussion, it was 12 students, 15 somewhere in there.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bang said it would be 60 students altogether, was his guess, that there would be that many students. It's different students who would be taking credit recovery. It would be at the high school, but it also would include students who needed extra tutoring and all of that. So it wasn't just the Novanet. It was really to support students all the way around. But Novanet was going to be a big piece of it, but also the tutoring that goes with it, that one-on-one.
Ms. Fisher, you're for.
Can I just ask a question on how are those students supported right now?
They usually go during a study hall to try to do that, or after school.
There's someone there after school?
There is someone there after school, but it's more of a duty, as I understand.
Ms. Sarn.
I'm going to move to reduce that budget item 51113 by $69,000.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Nichols. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, show of hands, all in favor? And that's unanimous. Ms. Bush.
I move we cut the science kit upgrade and that science instructional supplies. Now, there's two line items, 30,000 and 12,000. I'd like to cut them both for 42,000.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Percy?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion to reduce the science kits upgrades and the science instructional supplies? Ms. Fisher?
I just want to get the science kits. We already have science kits. This would just
These were upgrading to,
It's okay. And then the math and science instructional supplies,
that would have gone with the science kits and also with through the chair, I'm sorry, and also with the new textbook adoptions, which was also suggested here to not before we do grade 7 and 8 this coming year, to wait another year.
we already have the sixth grade textbooks.
The sixth grade,
They're using them this year.
They're using them this year, but they're not the latest version. And so the deal with the textbook company is we would use them for a year and give them back and get the new ones at the end of the year because they weren't out yet.
So then we would
based on the
get
Common
6th,
Core.
7th, and 8th grade in the...
So we would just be getting the 6th grade at the end of this year in the current budget year.
at no cost to us.
Right, not additional.
Oh,
Correct. We've already paid for the textbooks at the beginning of the year that we got for grade 6. So 7th and 8th would just be waiting another year for them.
Ms. Sarn.
I'm not going to support the motion only because everything else on the, to me, everything else on the list they're items that I can't support and touching those kinds of supplies and technology and all, I just can't support personally.
Ms. Bush.
For the kits, I can just tell you, we haven't done it for many years. A lot of the supplies are reusable or can be just easily purchased. So the reason I felt that 1 year of not resupplying those would be something reasonable, because there's a lot of things that they just, resituate, put a few more Fruit Loops in them and things like that. So that's why I made the suggestion.
Other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I will bring that motion to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor? And those opposed? And I show one opposed. The motion does carry 5-1. Mrs. Bush.
Question about the pottery wheel. Do we have a functional pottery wheel right now that the students can use, and what is the rationale for having another one?
Mrs. Goldberg would truly have to give you the details on that, but she felt that it could wait another year, the pottery wheel. You have one that's functional, that's probably a good word to use to describe it.